What's up, everybody? It's Hey John, and I want to discuss Safuu. And I want to discuss all the controversy, all the drama surrounding Safuu. I believe some of this is obnoxious and, in my opinion, inappropriate. We have to assert ourselves with a certain level of decorum, and there are some things you just don't do. I was watching the interview with On-Chain and Brian Legend, and well, let's be honest, folks, that wasn't much of an interview, mainly because On-Chain did not give many opportunities for Brian Legend to rebuttal and to speak frankly. The interview I had with On-Chain, it was a lot more civil. Maybe it's because I'm not creating projects, but the thing is that we all make mistakes. We all talk about what we want to talk about, and I'm okay with the way he's going after Brian Legend. I understand some folks may not like it, but you have to understand, the way On-Chain gets his views is very simple, folks. People like me, we get crypto, we push it up, we're saying, hey, it's going to the moon. With On-Chain, he comes off and says, hey, you know what? When it comes down, hey guys, it sucks, scammer. So on the downside, he's capturing the negative audience. And this audience here, they have a negative energy towards the crypto that they lost money into. So as they say, you can make money in a bull market and a bear market. I'm a bull, On-Chain is a bit of a bear. Think of me as a YouTube bull and think of On-Chain as a YouTube bear. And there is nothing wrong with the way he's doing things, because you can make money going up and going down. But what I do have a problem with is the way the interview went. He did not give the opportunity for Brian Legend to speak. On-Chain is very passionate about what he does. I get it. I get where he's coming from. I myself had been burnt as well. But the way that interview went down, On-Chain, I'll be honest with you, bro. I'm telling you right now, other CEOs of future projects, they're not going to give you the time of day. And do you know why? Because there isn't an actual interview. You're just talking over them constantly. Now, I know On-Chain may take this as me attacking him, but I'm not. What I'm saying is, bro, there are ways to do things. I know you know how to interview, because when you interviewed me and Kate Crypto, you were a totally different beast. You were civil and you were pleasant. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not bashing On-Chain. Brian Legend, well, let's just say he shot himself in the foot. Why would you ever mention anything about your personal genitalia, especially on the internet? I mean, why would you ever do that? I get it, maybe you misspoke, maybe you got frustrated because he was constantly cutting you off, but my God, man, you need to control yourself. If you aren't sleeping enough, maybe you're tired and you're on edge, well, my God, man, get your rest, do you, okay? Because the Safuu project depends on you. And if you are not 100%, the Safuu project will not be 100%. It is just that simple. Now, I want to get into something very important in my opinion, and I do have a few thoughts about this. So I want to get into a few clips of the interview with Brian Legend's aunt, and I do want to give some thoughts about this because in my opinion, it's very important.
Just like you said, and we live it. Every time it comes out publicly, every time Rini sees something and it triggers her, she goes through it all again, and that affects us. So the cost is, we don't care about, we're really at a loss coming on here, and I mean that with love, but, we're exposing ourselves to the world, which we didn't want to do, but we understand that this issue is greater than ourselves. We know that we can't control what he does, and that he'll likely reach out to Rini again, but at least we can let at least a small community of people know what the aftermath of this is, and that she tries to put on a brave face right now, but I'm sitting next to her and she's trying to stop tears. It's just not nice to see your family members go through that, and we wish that's how he felt about what he was doing, but it just doesn't seem to be on his agenda at all.
I mean, one of the saddest things I actually remember that he did, and John is here to tell you that he asked my son John to actually choose between him and me. I mean,
Wow.
what sort of person does that? Who would choose someone like Brian, whether he's your cousin or not, over their own mother?
This is the last message he sent me. Either you accept your mum is an absolute fuckhead of a person, or you can block me here and I will never speak to you again.
Jesus Christ, bro.
You can just read it, hopefully, yourself.
Put it more to the left. Yeah, there you go.
So this clip is on-chain interviewing Irene, Brian Legend's aunt. Now understand that this individual is hurt. She is hurt tremendously. There has been many times this has come up and she's traumatized and she's reliving it again. For me, my biggest problem here is that on-chain, in my opinion, should have never interviewed the aunt. My biggest problem here with this interview of the aunt of Brian Legend is that obviously this is a family matter. The reason why I say it's a family matter is because it is that. It's a family matter. It's between Brian Legend, his aunt Irene, their cousin, and the cousin's wife or fiance. Now, in my opinion, there is no reason for on-chain to be airing out their dirty laundry like that. Because, I'll tell you why right now, any idea of reconciliation is now going to be tossed out the window. And if there was ever going to be one, I would say it's even more unlikely now. This is real life. This isn't a Maury TV show or Jerry Springer where people are paid to act. This is a real family, and you doing this is not helping the family whatsoever. They are coming on the internet. This will be here forever to the end of days. And to be frank, I am repulsed by this because, as I said in the beginning of this video, there's a level of decorum and there are certain things that you just do not do. There are certain lines that you do not cross. And to me, if you're going after Brian Legend and Safuu, leave it to Brian Legend and Safuu. Bringing in his family is just a step too far, in my opinion, because what you're saying here is that you are willing to further break up a family to get the truth. Let's be honest, folks. The reason why Irene came onto this live stream with on-chain is simply put, is that she wants to expose and hurt Brian back because of the way he hurt her. And the way she sees it is that, you know what? I have no other way to get to him. I don't have any other platform, but on-chain here is offering me this platform to speak, to clear my name. So what on-chain is doing here is that he is weaponizing her negative feelings towards Brian Legend. And he is using it in the disguise that, hey, you know what? I want to help the investors. My question here is that how does this help Brian Legend reconcile with his aunt? How does this help Safuu in any which way? The only thing this does is further depreciate Safuu. Now, in an alternate universe where on-chain did this interview prior to Safuu being launched and prior to people investing into Safuu and losing money, I would say, hey, you know what? On-chain is onto something here. He is able to save investors. But in this case here, he isn't saving investors. He isn't saving and reconciling a family matter that should be private. It should never be public.
With the family of Brian, because Brian was out here talking out crazy about his own family, which I knew they were not crazy, but it's like, if he's gonna defame them, well, they can come here and protect their self and protect their character and talk about Brian himself. Now, you have both sides of the story.
I get what on-chain is doing here. He's saying, hey, you know what? Let me give you a voice. Let me give you a platform to defend yourself against this internet bully of Brian Legend. But let's not forget, folks, that on-chain pushed the matter. He pressed the matter further than it should have ever gotten. He said, you know what? I have an interview with your auntie, and Brian Legend already knows that, hey, you know what? I don't have a good relationship with her. So let me go ahead and best protect myself and say my truth. So what on-chain did here was get the testimony from Brian Legend about his aunt Irene, and on-chain showed it to, guess what? Auntie Irene, and Auntie Irene saw that and it triggered her. She already had negative emotion towards Brian Legend. And as you saw in that clip, they were saying, hey, you know what? We really did not want to come on live on YouTube for the internet to see our dirty laundry. But after seeing that, Irene got upset and she got triggered and said, you know what? I'm going to give it to this boy that I helped raise, that he is ungrateful, and let me just go ahead and do it because a mother's love can only go so far.
We can impact the market. We can actually enforce certain changes that we want to see in the market. Like, we out here letting all these people go unchecked. If we letting these people go unchecked, that's how we get to the disaster situations we've been seeing so far in DeFi, right? So if you find, and everyone is motivated by interest, all right? So if you find some kind of personal interest for you in some way, shape or form, may it be financial, moral, emotional, if you find some kind of interest in the fact that you want DeFi to be a better place for the new retail investors that will be coming in by the time we hit the next bull market, then the DeFi army is a home for you.
When I see statements like this, it just reminds me of Batman, okay? It's borderline vigilantism. If you agree with it, fantastic. Yeah, go on chain, go Batman. Go ahead and slap around the Brian Legends, the Penguin, the Jokers of the DeFi space. I get it. You want to do that? Go for it. But the thing here is that there still needs to be a level of decorum. You do not bring in a family into anything about this. There are levels of GP, general principles, that you do not violate. And for me, seeing this is just going too far. So at the end of the day, we have to ask ourselves one question. What did on-chain achieve from all of this? All I see is a broken family further broken. Less chances of ever reconciling if they ever will to begin with. As far as investors go, how is he protecting them? I don't see any protection here. All I see is more selling, and how does that protect the investors? Their money is already in there. And I just want to make sure it's crystal clear that these are all my thoughts. They don't have any agenda here. I'm just sharing what I think about what on-chain has done and what Brian Legend has done, and what ridiculousness are we seeing in the crypto DeFi space. I hope all of you ladies and gentlemen have a great day. Take a deep breath, forget about DeFi, forget about crypto for a second, and understand that there is more to life than money. I will catch you all on the next one. Shh.